Yes. I think yesterday I was talking about other day factory design pattern. What this says, I use factory method, but I am different from factory method. Factory method returns any class object, maybe same class object, related class object, unrelated class object. Factory pattern says, I use factory method by always return what? One of the several related class objects based on the data that is provided. But how can we say classes are in relation? Okay, by seeing them implementing either common interface, by seeing them extending from what? Common superclass. What's the advantage of factory pattern? Someone developed factory pattern, someone is using factory pattern. The person who is using factory pattern, he calls the method, gets the object based on the data he is applying. Yes or no? So he is getting abstraction on object creation process. He is going to get one of the several related class object based on the data that is passed, guys. So definitely this possibility is there or not there. Definitely this possibility is there or not there, no doubt in that. Okay, let's see how exactly we can do that work, right? Let's see how exactly we can do that work, guys. Okay, full and final conclusion is we enjoyed yesterday Bike Factory class. The client who is using Bike Factory, he is calling Bike Factory dot get instant by passing bike type. He is getting bike object and he is least bother about what is the class name of the object, but he is enjoying the object. And he is getting abstraction on object creation process or not. Same thing, driver manager dot get connection. He is getting connection object. He is least bothered about connection object is the object of what, which class. And he is also getting abstraction on connection object creation process or not, guys. Okay. Today, let's move to another design pattern, main important design pattern, that is strategy design pattern. How strategy design pattern is important? Very simple. Every application of Spring is recommended to design according to the strategy design pattern. What, guys? According to the strategy design pattern. No second thought in that. Okay, guys. So today let's talk about various things related to what? Strategy design pattern. I think first of all, tell me strategy means planning, na boss? Strategy means planning. What do you say, guys? Okay. Yeah, if you look at the IPL matches, boss, there is a strategic timeout. Why they give that? To plan the match, to plan the game, right? But in international T20s, no strategic timeout. Only in IPL T20s, what is there? Strategic timeouts are there. Why? IPL games are that much greater. Nothing is there. Our Indian BCCI wants to enjoy satellite rights, broadcasting rights, advertisement money in those 10 minutes gap. 10 minutes in a peak match is a big number, right? The two strategic timeout will be used when match is in peak stage, right, boss? When things are out of control, things are going very fastly to disturb the rhythm of the batsman, to disturb the rhythm of the bowler. The opposite team captain takes what? Strategic timeout. So like this, they want to generate more revenue by giving what? Advertisement in the TV sets. So you don't find strategic timeout in what? Strategic timeout in what, guys? Real ones, right? So let it be, my dear. Where is this? 515. Yeah, what's there? Spring Core. Here is what? Factory design pattern and strategy design pattern. Right click, guys. Where is this? Open with Yeah. Edit with paint. There's no open with paint. Huh? How come? Okay, I think I have to open it. Okay, that's the reason it is not coming. Okay. Arif. First, we are going to implement factory design pattern, strategy design pattern in core Java. And we'll see limitations of implementing these two design pattern in core Java. Then we try to develop the same design pattern in Spring setup. Then we will see advantages of implementing what? Strategy design pattern using Spring setup, right? Okay. One thing you remember, guys, if any object name is pronounced with interface name, that is not object of interface. That is the object of a class that implements the interface, right? If any object name is pronounced with abstract class, that is not object of abstract class. That is the object of a class that extends from abstract class. Is that clear, guys? If any object name is pronounced with what? Class name, that can be object of that class or it can be object of one of its subclass. Calendar CL is equal to calendar dot get instance. We say calendar object, but calendar is an abstract class, guys. Is it the real object of calendar class, guys? No. It is the object of Gregorian calendar referred by whom? Calendar abstract class. Referred by whom, guys? Calendar abstract class. Convinced with me, my dear? Come on, everyone. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Okay, here I want to give those points, guys. If object name is, if any object is pronouns, any object name is pronounced with, what is there? Pronounced with interface name. Then it is called, what is there, guy? Then it is the object of a class that implements an interface. Are you getting my point there, guys? We say list object. Actually, list is an interface. We say serializable object. Actually, serializable an interface. Serializable object means what? It is the object of a class that implements serializable interface. If any object name is pronounced with what is there? Super class name. What class name, guys? Then it is the object of a class that extends from that object of a class that extends from pronounced with what is there? Abstract class that extends from the abstract class. Right, guys? Super. Yes, boss. If any object name is pronounced with what? Class name, then that can be object of Java class or the object of one of its subclass, object of one of its subclass. object of one of its subclass. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on. Yeah, now onwards. Serializable object. It is not object of serializable interface. It is object of a class that implements serializable interface. Okay, calendar object. It is not object of calendar interface. I mean, it's a calendar abstract class. It is the object of a class that extends from what? Calendar class. Like the same thing here also, boss. Here, what is the example, guys? Serializable object. What object, guys? Serializable object. Here, what is there, guys? Calendar object. What object, my dear? Calendar object. Next example. What is there, guys? Pronounced with the class name. So subclass object, but we are pronounced with what? String class, right? We pronounce with the super class name. Yeah. What's a better wording? Better wording for that. Subclass object, but we pronounce with what? Super class, right? No, not object class. Object class we pronounce with object only, right, guys? What's a common super class for all these things? In core Java level, any class is there like that? Huh? Yeah, calendar is an abstract class, no doubt in that. But I'm talking about normal class. But it's going to be one of its subclass object, but we pronounce with what? Class name. Stack extends over vector. Extends from vector. Yeah, can I say stack object? Yeah, stack object, but it can be object of stack class or it can be object of what? Vector class. When I say stack object, it can be object of stack object or it can be object of what? Vector. Okay, let it be, guys. Shall we get into strategy design pattern here? This is Gang of 4 pattern, can be implemented in any OOP language, object-oriented programming language. This pattern is very popular in Spring programming because it gives set of principles towards what? Designing classes of dependency management. And we use this dependency management a lot in Spring programming. We use that dependency management a lot in Spring programming. Strategy design pattern says, while designing the class of dependency management, follow set of rules or principles which allows to design the classes as what? Loosely coupled interchangeable parts. What, guys? Loosely coupled interchangeable parts. We can change one dependent with another dependent without touching the source code of what? Target. There are, other day we discussed, 2-3 possible dependents are there. I want to change one dependent with another dependent without touching the source code of target class. That loose coupling is very much required or not required, guys? Yeah, what is the basic statement of strategy design pattern, boss? The basic statement of strategy design pattern is, strategy design pattern says, while designing the class of dependency management, follow set of rules. What, guys? Follow what, guys? Set of rules. Follow a set of rules or principle which allows us to design the classes as what? Loosely coupled interchangeable parts. We can change one dependent with another dependent without touching source code of the target class. The target and dependent classes of dependency management can be designed by using following principle of strategy design pattern. Listen guys, in Spring or any application, two classes staying in dependency is quite common, right? Assigning one class object with another class object is called dependency management. It says you follow strategy design pattern while designing classes of dependency management, nothing but target and dependent classes. You can design them as the best classes, right? Strategy design pattern is all about developing the classes, designing the class of dependency management, target and dependent classes by following three principles, by following three rules. Are you with me, guys? Come on. So if we follow these three rules while designing target and dependent classes of dependency management, everything goes smoothly or not, guys? Everything happens smoothly or not, guys? Come on, everyone. Here is what? Rule number 1, rule number 2. Here is my rule number 3 or principle number 3. That's great. Favor composition, nothing but what? Has a relation over inheritance. Nothing but is a relationship. While keeping target and dependent classes in relationship, don't prefer what? Has a relationship. Prefer what? Is a relationship. Prefer inheritance. Don't prefer what? Don't prefer inheritance. Prefer what? Composition. Rule number 2 or principle number 2. Always code to interface and abstract classes. That means don't code with what? Concrete classes to achieve loose coupling in the implementation of dynamic polymorphism. What is that? In the implementation of dynamic polymorphism. Is that clear, my dear? Come on, everyone. Rule number 3 or principle number 3. Our code must be open for extension and must be closed for what? Modification. Everyone, can you repeat all the three principles, guys? Next 1-2 session, you have to remember this one. Strategy design pattern, 3 principle. Prefer composition over inheritance. Next, always code to interfaces or what? Abstract classes. That means don't code to concrete classes to achieve loose coupling, boss. You know, interfaces are there for loose coupling. Abstract classes can also be used for what? Loose coupling. Rule number 3 or principle number 3. Our code must be open for what? Extension, and must be closed for what? Modify. To add, for expansion, it should be ready, but it should not allow anyone to come and modify the logic. You should not allow anyone to come and modify the logics. Are you getting my point there, guys? Rule number 1 or principle number 1, guys. Favor composition. What is that? Has a relation over inheritance. Nothing but is a relation. Favor composition has a relation over what? Is a relation. First, we try to understand what is the difference between inheritance and composition. What is the difference between inheritance and composition? Clear, boss? Come on, everyone. Yeah. Inheritance is a relationship. Tell me. Class A. Here is my what? Class B. B is the subclass of A, is a relationship. B is inherited from A, is a relationship. Everyone knows, guys, class B extends from A. What is composition, guys? Here is class A. Here is my what? Class B. Private A is equal to new A of. Here I created A class object now, boss. In B, we created object for what? A. Here the object of B class, here the object of B class has the object of A class. This is nothing but has a relationship now, boss. This is really nothing but has a relationship or not, guys? Say something, my dear. I want reply from you people. Yes, this is my B class object. Inside that I am having A class object or not, guys. The object of B class has the object of A class. The object of B class has got the object of A class. Clear, my dear? Got the point, my dear? Come on. Where should I use inheritance? Where should I use what? Composition. If class 1 wants to use, in which situation? Inheritance is bad in static design pattern in Spring programming. Overall inheritance is good. In Spring programming, while designing target and dependent classes, don't prefer what? Inheritance. Prefer what? Composition. Okay. If class 1 wants to use entire properties and methods of class 2, then prefer what? Prefer using inheritance. Class extends from thread. Class extending from HTTP servlet. Here is my thread na, boss. Yes. Here is my HTTP servlet. Okay, we are not doing anything to make our class as thread. Everything of thread class is inherited and our class automatically becoming thread or not, guys. Okay, while developing our class as servlet, we are extending from generic servlet, HTTP servlet classes. We are not doing any logic to make our class as what? Servlet. Everything of HTTP servlet is inherited and our class has become servlet component now, boss. Come on. Super, guys. If class 1 wants to use only few properties and few methods of what? Class 2, then prefer using what? Composition. That is nothing but what? Spring first application. Yes. Our first application is using target class is wish message generator. Dependent class is what? Local date time. What is that? Local date time. When I inject a local date time class object to wish message generator object, think and tell me. Are we using everything of local date time or we are using only get our method? That means I am trying to use all the content of only few properties. Few methods and properties, right? In that situation, composition is better, inheritance better. The theory is very simple now, boss. If class 1 wants to use everything of class 2, keep them in what? Inheritance relay. If class 1 wants to use a few method, few properties of class 2, then prefer using what? Composition. Then prefer working with what? Composition. So that means composition is great. But before understanding why composition is great, we must understand limitations of inheritance or not, guys. We definitely need to understand the limitations of inheritance or not, guys. Come on, everyone. Super. Number 1 limitation, my dear. Some programming languages, including Java, does not support multiple inheritance using what? Classes. Does not support multiple inheritance using what? Classes. Clear, my dear? Got it? Super. With inheritance, the code becomes what? Fragile. That is what? Easily breakable. What is that, guys? The testing of code becomes what? Complex. If classes are there in the inheritance. The testing of code becomes what, guys? Complex. If classes are there in the inheritance. Agree with me, my dear? Come on, everyone. If classes are there in the inheritance, the testing of code becomes very, very complex or not, guys? So let us try to understand all these problem and we will see the solution by using what? Composition. We'll try to understand the solution by using composition. Okay, these are related to point number 1. What is that? Prefer composition over inheritance. Clear, my dear? Come on. Some programming languages, including Java, does not support multiple inheritance using what? Classes. Okay. Multiple inheritance. What do you mean by multiple? One class implementing multiple interfaces is called multiple inheritance or not, guys? This is class A. This is class B. Class C extends A comma B. Class C extends what? A comma B. Okay. Is it supported in Java na, boss? Is it supported in Java na, my dear? No. Java does not support multiple inheritance through what, guys? Classes. Java does not support multiple inheritance through what, guys? Classes. Everyone understanding my statement or not, guys? Super. Don't look at interfaces. Sir, I can make one class implementing multiple inheritance interfaces. Na? Can I say Java supports multiple interfaces, multiple inheritance through interfaces? My suggestion is don't look at interfaces in the angle of inheritance. Look at interfaces in the angle of polymorphism. First of all, tell me, one class implementing more than one interface, Java is allowing. But first of all, what is there in the interfaces to inherit? All member variables are private static final, not private, public static final. If you don't implement interface, also member variables are visible now, boss. So you need not implement interface. Methods will have only declarations. Yes, na? Methods will have declaration. What is there in declaration? Nothing is there, right? So what my suggestion? Look at interfaces in Java, not in the angle of inheritance. Always look at interfaces in Java in the angle of what? Polymorphism. So that's why whenever I say Java does not support multiple inheritance through classes, don't excite and give the answer. It supports multiple inheritance through interfaces. I don't look at interfaces in the angle of what? Inheritance. I look at interfaces in the angle of what? Polymorphism. How, sir? I have a X interface, A method is there. Class F implementing X interface. I write my own logic for A method now, boss. Come on, my dear. Class, what is there, guys? Class B extends from where, guys? X interface. I write my own logic for A method. One method, multiple forms. One method, multiple faces. Polymorphism. What do you mean by polymorphism? I want reply from you people, guys. One method, multiple forms is the solution or not, guys? Are you getting my point here, guys? Interface methods are public static method. That means they are visible everywhere. The interface properties are public static final properties. That means they are accessible in all the places, irrespective of whether we implement interface or not. Right, guys? Static methods of interface can be accessed everywhere with the interface name. Java 8 onwards, static method, default methods are there na, boss. They can be used everywhere irrespective of interface implementation or not, guys. Super. Okay, next. Always look at interfaces in the angle of what? Polymorphism to achieve loose coupling. To achieve what coupling, guys? Okay, now let's look at this. Interface I1 M1 method. Look at this. Public class A1 implements I1 interface. I'm writing my own logic for M1 method, version 1 or form 1 of logic, guys. M1 method logic 2, version 2 or form 2 na, boss. Class A implements X comma Y. It looks like it is supporting interface. It looks like it is supporting what? Inheritance for polymorphism, right? But actually not. It looks like that, but it is actually not. Are you getting my point there, guys? Class A implements X comma Y. Looks like multiple inheritance for what, guys? Polymorphism. Super. Polymorphism means one method, multiple forms, nothing but implementation. M1 is what? I1 interface. M1 definition in class 1 is different. M1 definition in a B1 class is different or not, guys? At least from today onwards, I hope you will don't look at interfaces in the angle of what? Inheritance. Always look at interfaces in the angle of what? See, interface one method declaration. That interface is implemented in 10 classes. I have a freedom to implement that method having 10 different versions of logics now, boss. By syntax, it looks like Java support inheritance through what? Interface, sorry. But actually that is also one kind of polymorphism only. Don't look at interfaces in the angle of what? Inheritance. Look at interfaces in the angle of what? Super, guys. Solution using composition. Okay, with inheritance problems are there. What is the first problem? No support for multiple inheritance. But can I solve that problem by using what? Composition. Why not? We can definitely solve. Why not? We can definitely solve. How can we solve? Let me show. Here is class A. Here is what? Class B. Here is my class C. In that one, A class object and B class objects are placed now, boss. In that one, A class object and what? B class objects are created or not, guys? Object for A class, object for B class are created or not, guys? Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on. Okay. See, in one class, I have two objects now, boss. That means I am able to work with two classes in one class now, boss. That means for in one class, I am able to work with the objects of two classes. Its solved problem is solved by using composition or not, guys? Okay, now tell me. Now C can use both class A and class B properties and method. The effect of multiple inheritance has come here. Though it is not inheritance, but the effect of multiple inheritance, we brought it or not, guys? It is because of what? Composition or not, guys? So that means inheritance first problem is what? No support for multiple inheritance. What is the solution for that problem? Through inheritance, definitely not possible. We can achieve the same thing through composition. What is that, guys? Okay, independent class. We can create objects of two more classes or not, guys? Super, guys. Next. With inheritance, the code becomes what? Fragile. Nothing but easily breakable. What is there, guys? The code becomes what? Fragile. Nothing but what? Easily breakable. Easily breakable. Sensitive, boss. Whenever you see the packaging of glass items, okay, sensitive item, they say fragile, handle with care. That means easily breakable. So first understand the problem. In problem only everything is there. If you enjoy the problem, you can enjoy the solution. If you don't enjoy the problem, you cannot enjoy the solution. Are you with me, guys? Everyone is active. So problem with inheritance. Class A. First let us assume return type of M1 method is what? Int. Return 100. Return 100. Class B extends what? A. Public into M1. Return what? 1000. Class C extends what? B. Public into M1 into return what? 1000. Class D extends what? B. Public into M1 return 100. Are you getting my point there or not there? Super, boss. Are you understanding my statement or? So these are the class E extends B. Here what is there? Return 10. Here what is there, guys? Return 10. Comfortable, my dear? B extends from A. What is there? C extends from B. D extends from B, E extends from B. This is the hierarchy now, boss. So multiple classes are there in the inheritance hierarchy or not? Observe very carefully. Here M1 method is overridden in all the classes now, boss. M1 is basically there in what? Class A, inherited to B, from there inherited to C, from there inherited to D, from there inherited to what? E. Okay, tell me what's happening there. Tell me what's happening there. In all the places, we are going for inheritance concept or not, guys? In all the places, we are going for inheritance concept or not, guys? Okay, now listen. M1 method is inherited and overridden everywhere. Let us assume in the topmost class of inheritance hierarchy, that is A, I changed the return type of the method M1 into to float. Return type of the method M1 from int to float. Come on, guys. From what? Int to float. Are you getting my point there, guys? Say something, my dear. Int to float. After that, what is there, my dear? After that, what is there, my dear? Here, M1 is overridden. M1 is overridden. Okay. Since I modify return type of the method, signature of the method here, this will disturb, this will disturb, this will disturb, this will disturb. All the classes of the inheritance hierarchy, all will be disturbed or not, guys? Everything will be disturbed or not, guys? Convinced or not, my dear? Everything will be disturbed now, boss. Can someone switch off the lights? Switch on the lights, guys. One light at backside. Online students are not able to see me properly. Yeah? Online student, are you able to see me? Yeah, that's good. Your one light has given life to online students. Okay, thank you. Am I visible now? Yeah. See, guys, I modified signature of the method in the topmost class in the inheritance hierarchy that has disturbed all the class in the inheritance hierarchy. Code is very sensitive now. Sensitive code, I can call it as fragile code. Can I call sensitive code as what? Fragile code. What do you say, guys? Can I call sensitive code as what? Fragile code or not, my dear? That's great. If you modify the signature of M1 method of class A, top class of inheritance hierarchy. Okay, what is this? Return type is changed from int to float. Then all the classes of inheritance will be what? Collapse. Becomes what? Incompatible. This indicates with the inheritance, the code is what? Very much fragile. The code is what? Very much fragile. Are you getting my point there, guys? The code becomes very much fragile or not, guys? Okay, that's great. Solution using what? Composition. How we can solve this problem in the composition? Okay, now listen carefully. Class A, public into M1 return 100. Int boss. Don't think about float now. Class B, A1, new A of. It's a composition now, boss. It's a definitely composition. So initially, let us assume the code is like this. Int xx1 is equal to A dot M1. Into x1 is equal to A dot M1. Return x plus 100. Return what? X plus 100. Okay, this is not inheritance, guys. B1 is independent method in class B. It's nowhere related to this M1, right? Okay. Class Z extends B. Some inherited. Now listen. I changed return type of M1 method from int to float. Tell me, all the class in the inheritance will be affected, or only this line will be affected? Only this line will be disturbed, right? If I can write a small change based code in that line by replacing that line, problem is solved forever, na boss? Definitely the problem is followed forever, na boss. I'm not saying here problem is not there, but problem is confined to one line, not for entire classes in the inheritance hierarchy, right? Okay, boss. Here what I do is, actually it is expecting int, boss. What should I do for int? What should I do for int? Int x1 is equal to math dot round off. Math dot round off. A1 dot. What is there, guys? M1. Math dot round off. A1 dot M1. What's happening, my dear? Math dot round off. A1 dot M1. It is simply returning that x1 object or not, guys? Say something, my dear. I want reply from you people. Super, guys. Tell me here what is there. Return x plus 100. Class C extends B. Class D extends B. Are you comfortable, my dear? Come on. Super. Here, if we modify return type of M1 method in class A, that will affect only one line in class B. That will affect only one line in what? Class B. Okay. Where that M1 method is called. But by just modifying that line of code, we can restrict the problem to that level itself. That means other classes inheriting from B will not be affected. Will not be affected. See, guys, if I modify into to float, problem is raised here. We are solving the problem by modifying that code, na boss? Cancel this code and keep this code. Round off will convert what? Float value to integer value or not, guys? And remaining classes that are there in the inheritance hierarchy are really disturbed, my dear? Not disturbed. That means I'm not saying with the composition problem is not there, but problem is confined to 1-2 line. By modifying 1-2 lines of code, are we disturbing all the classes of inheritance hierarchy, or 1-2 lines of code we are disturbing? We are disturbing only 1-2 lines of code. We are not disturbing what? All the classes of inheritance hierarchy. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on. So I hope you understood the problem and solution of second one. All these are related to first point of strategy design pattern. What is that? Prefer composition over inheritance. That's a basic point, right? That is the basic point, guys. That is the basic point to remember. Are you getting my point, guys? Super, guys. Next one. When should I go for composition and when should I go for what? Inheritance. If class 1 wants to use all the properties and methods of what? Class 2, then keep them in what? Inheritance. I think we already discussed this. Class 2, class C1 extends class C2. If while making our class as thread servlet component, we fully depend on what? Inheritance. Because we take class extending from thread, automatically our class becomes thread, na? In that process, our class wants to use full potential of the thread class, na boss? While making our class as servlet component, we extend from generic servlet and we don't do much great things in that. And it will use full content of generic servlet, HTTP servlet to make ordinary class as servlet component, na my dear? If class 1 wants to use only few properties and methods of what? Class 2, Then keep them in composition relationship. What relationship, guys? Then keep them in what? Composition relationship. This is my what? Class 2. This is my what? Class 1. Private C2 is equal to new C2 of. In C1, I created object for C2 na boss. In C1, I want to create object for C2 or not, guys. Come on, everyone. Use composition while designing classes for what? Dependency management. This is what? Spring programming a lot. In Spring programming, we use a lot or not, guys? Use composition. Okay. Spring programming uses this a lot. 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 Comfortable, my dear? Right. I already discussed it, Babu. If you want to use few properties, few methods of class 1 in class 2, go for composition. In our first application, second application, what we are doing? Are we using all the methods and properties of local time in our isMessage generator? No. Okay, that's fine. The testing of code becomes complex if classes are there in the inheritance. Please remember, right now we have taken only rule number 1 of strategy design pattern. Yes, in that one, inheritance is bad, composition is good. What are the problems of inheritance? Problem number 1, no support for multiple inheritance. Next, problem number 2, okay, code becomes fragile. One modification in the topmost class of inheritance hierarchy, all classes will be disturbed or not, guys. That's why you observe was, they change methods, they deprecate method, they add method, they remove method in all other classes. But they don't touch the method signatures, methods of java.lang.object class. Did you ever notice that? Why they don't do? If they do that, all classes in Java will be affected or not. Java will be collapsed just like that or not, guys. That's why they don't touch methods of object class. They may add 1 to extra method version to version, but they don't change the signatures of the existing method, though they are bad. Why? Because so many predefined classes, so many user-defined classes, directly or indirectly inheriting from what? Object class. If a disturbance comes to that object class, the entire Java will be collapsed or not, guys? The entire Java will be automatically collapsed or not, guys? Come on, everyone. Okay. The testing of code becomes complex if classes are there in the inheritance. Testing is all about matching expected results with what? Actual results. If both results are matched, then we can say, if both results are matched, then we can say test results are positive. If not matched, test results are negative. If matched, test results are positive. If not matched, test results are what? Negative. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on, everyone. If matched, test results are positive. If not matched, test results are what? Negative. That is the actual basic principle of testing, guys. When we do manual calculation, some results will come. If those results are really matching with what? Actual results are not. If matching, test is positive. If not matching, test is what? Negative. Convinced, my dear? Got the point, my dear? I want reply, guys. Super. Lots of testings will be taken care by testers. But unit testing must be taken care by what? Developer. Remaining all tests should be done by testers only. But unit testing, You got a task, you completed task. Without testing the code only, you will release the code, no. Or you will submit the code, or you will merge your code with others' code. No, you have to test na. Programmer testing on his own piece of code is called unit testing. Remaining all testing which will be done on whole project, they are taken care by testers. But programmers testing on his own piece of code, not others' code, is called what? Unit testing, and that will be taken care by whom? Developer. For that one, we have automation tools like JUnit. Okay, JUnit is there, boss. We have a tool called what? JUnit. Or some extent we have Mockito. All these tools can be used for what? Unit testing. To test the code in all permutation and combination, we write the test cases or test plans. We generally write these test plans on one per each variety of input. On one per each variety of input. You have a sum method. You want to test it. Okay. Okay, you want to test with the small numbers, you want to test with the big numbers, you want to test with the negative numbers, you want to test with the positive numbers, you want to test with the mixed numbers. Like this, different varieties of test cases you have to write now, boss. These test cases are also called as what? Test plans. These test cases are also called as what? Test plans. Convinced, my dear? Got the point, my dear? I want reply, my dear. Super. Problem, class A, class B. So first try to understand the problem with the inheritance based testing, boss. When classes are there in the inheritance, if you go for testing, what is the problem? We have to identify what is the problem or not, guys. We need to identify what is the problem or not, guys. Come on, everyone. Class A, class B. What is there? Class A, class B, inheritance is there. Public into M1, return 100. Public into M2, return 1000. Understood my statement, guys? Class B extends what? A. M3 200, M4 2. While testing class B, we need to write test cases for B class method, M3, M4. And also for what? A class method, M1, M2. Why, sir? When I create object for B class, using that object, I can call B class method M3, M4. I can also call inherited M1, M2 methods. I need to write test cases or test plans only for direct methods or inherited methods also. Let us assume 10 classes are there in the inheritance hierarchy. Each class 2 methods. Total how many methods? 20 methods, right? Total how many methods, guys? Total how many methods, my dear? 20 methods. Total how many methods, my dear? No doubt in that 20 methods are there, right, guys? Come on, everyone. I want reply from you people. When 20 methods are there, you have to write 20 test plans or not, guys? Come on, my dear. I want reply. When 20 methods are there, we need to write 20 test plans or not? But you are testing only last class. Why should I write test cases for remaining method? But what to do? They are inheritable, na? Definitely you have to write it. This is the biggest headache while working with what? Inheritance or not, guys. While testing class B, we need to write test cases for B class method, M3, M4, and A class method, M1, M2. Because using the object of class B, we can invoke total what? 4 methods. Total how many methods, guys? 4. In inheritance, we need to perform unit testing on both current class methods and inherited methods belonging to all the classes of inheritance hierarchy. Very, very complex. What, guys? Very, very complex. Direct methods testing, inherited method testing is very, very complex or not, guys? Solution using composition. Class A, how many methods? Two methods. M1, M2. Class B, how many methods, guys? M3, M4. Inside M3, M1 method is invoked na, boss? Okay, now, here class B is independent class or child class to class A? Independent class. So while writing unit testing on class B method, do I need to write test cases only for M3 and M4 na, boss? Is there any need of writing unit testing for M1 and M2 methods? While doing unit testing on class B method, we need to write test cases only for what? M3 and M4 methods. What methods, guys? That means no need of writing test cases for what? M1, M2. M1 method of class A indirectly unit tested while performing what? Unit testing of M3, because M3 is internally invoking M1 method. You are completing unit testing on M3 means indirectly you are completing unit testing on M1 method or not, guys? Tell me, where is less burden, in composition or inheritance? That's why overall Spring people or dependency management people prefers to design target and dependent classes through what, guys? Target and dependent classes through what, guys? We should prefer using composition or inheritance. We should prefer using composition or inheritance. I hope you convinced with me, guys. Thoroughly understood my statement, my dear. Come on, everyone. Okay. With this, what is the conclusion, guys? The conclusion is strategy design pattern is all about designing the target and dependent classes for dependency management. Point number one. It's all about implementing how many principles, guys? What are those, my dear? Favor composition over inheritance. Number one. Always code to interface and abstract classes. That means don't code to concrete classes to achieve the loose coupling. Number three, our code must be open for what? Extension, and must be closed for what? Modification. Must be open for extension and must be closed for what? Modification. Is that clear, guys? Must be open for extension and must be closed for what? Modification. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on. Everyone. First one we have taken. Prefer composition over inheritance. Problems with inheritance. What are the problems with inheritance, guys? Number one. What is number one problem, guys? No support for multiple inheritance. Can be solved by using composition. In class C, you create object of B, object of A class. So in one class, we can use two objects or not, guys. That's great. Next, I want reply from. Code becomes fragile code. If you modify one method in the topmost class of the one method signature in topmost class, okay, it will disturb all the class in the inheritance hierarchy or not. It's like constructing building by using playing cards. You touch one card, entire building will be collapsed or not. Possibility is there or not. What is problem number 3, guys? What is problem number 3? I want reply. Unit testing. Programmer testing on his own piece of code is called unit testing. Programmer testing on his own piece of code is technically called as what? Unit testing. Come on. Yeah, tell me what is there in that, guys. I'm talking about what? Unit testing, boss. I'm talking about unit testing. Tell me what is there in the unit testing, guys? Programmer testing on his own piece of code is called unit testing. Is that clear, my dear? Come on. Super, guys. Now tell me here, what is the story over there? The story over here is, if you go for inheritance, not only you have to test subclass method, even inherited methods you have to test. If you go for what? Composition. Okay, no question of testing other class method. Which class you want to test, that class methods only you have to test. So that reduce burden on the programmer or not, guys? Super, guys. So shall we go to strategy design pattern rule number 2? This you studied in core Java. In core Java, you might have studied loose coupling with the runtime polymorphism. Anyone belongs to Harkrishna Sir batch? Sir might have discussed about LRTP, LTRP. Yeah? What is that, guys? LPR, loose coupling, LCRP. Loose coupling with the runtime polymorphism. Same thing we are going to discuss in one more angle. Always code to interfaces are what? Interfaces are abstract classes. So that if you change one dependent with another dependent, you need not to disturb the source code of what? Target class. No lights again, chang chang. Chang chang. Lights are there, maybe some darkness has come outside. Okay. And can switch on one more light, guys? Can you, anyone can switch on one more light? Oh, your name is Jiang. Sorry. We are Indians now. We cannot pronounce some names properly. As you cannot pronounce our names. As you cannot pronounce our names, some problem is there. Jiang. Okay. What's your batch code, guys? What is there? 515. What's your batch code? 515. NTSPBMS 515. What is there, guys? Spring Boot core. Or I'm spending more time for explanation, nothing else. Yeah, February. What is the today's date? March 3rd, 2025. More on strategy design pattern in Korea. Yeah, everyone please focus. Once again, I revised 3 principles of strategy design pattern here. In that one, what is rule number 2, guys? Always code to interfaces are abstract classes. That means don't code to concrete classes to achieve loose coupling in the implementation of what? Dynamic polymorphism. Shall we understand problem without interface and abstract classes? If target class is having multiple possible dependent classes, how possible dependents will be there? Flipkart target class, DTDC is a courier company dependent class. If you don't like DTDC services, we have to think about using Blue Dart services. Come on. DHL services, first flight services. Like this, so many courier companies are there in India, boss, right? Now listen to me carefully. For example, I have created object for DTDC class in Flipkart class directly through composition. Tomorrow I did not like the services of DTDC. While changing to Blue Dot, I have to disturb the source code of the target class or not? I need to disturb the source code of the target class or not, guys? I definitely need to disturb the source code of the target class or not, guys? Super boss. Tell me here. Dependent class 1, public class DTDC. Here is my deliver method. What method, guys? Here are my logics. Okay, guys. Here are my logics. Okay. DTDC. Here is my what? Blue dot. Deliver with logics. And what? Deliver with what? Logic. What's the problem? My class in target class, I created object for DTD's class na boss. Private DTDC, new DTDC of. This is my has a property or not, guys? This is my has a property or not, guys? Public string shopping, string items array, double prices array. Logic to calculate bill amount. String message DTDC.deliver OID. And return ... What is there, guys? Return ... Okay, see, I'm using DTDC object here. So here one time hard coded. Here same object is hard coded here. Tomorrow I did not like the services of DTDC. I want to change to what? Blue dot. I have to modify the source code by opening the source code of Flipkart class na boss. I have to modify the source code by opening the source code of the Flipkart class na boss. It is really meaningless or not? Say something, my dear. Got the clarity, my dear? I want reply, boss. If the degree of dependency is more between two components, then they are called what? Tightly coupled components. What components, guys? If the degree of dependency is less between two components, then they are called what? Loosely coupled component. Right now, you tell me, Flipkart class and DTDC classes are tightly coupled or loosely coupled? Tightly coupled or loosely coupled? Definitely they are tightly coupled classes or not, guys? Say something, my dear. I want reply, my dear. They are tightly, but I want to make them as loosely coupled. What is the solution, Make all dependent classes as related classes by implementing common interface or common abstract class. Either by implementing common interface or extending from common abstract. In Flipkart class, don't take reference variable of Blue Dot DTD classes. You take reference variable of what? Common interface or common abstract class. So that I can inject any implementation class object or subclass object or not, guys. I can change one dependent with another dependent without touching the source code of target class. That too from outside of the target class or not, guys. Without touching the source code, that too from outside of the target class or not, guys. Flipkart wants to use Blue Dot courier service instead of DTDC courier service. Then we need to modify source code of Flipkart class. This makes these components as what? Tightly coupled component. What is the solution, guys? Make all these possible dependent classes implementing common interface and take that interface reference variable has a property, having setter method for that property in target class to make the code as what? Loosely coupled code. Focus, my dear, here. What is there? Public interface courier. Here we are declaring the method na, boss. Public, it's a common interface. DTD is implementing courier, implementing deliver method here. Blue dot implementing courier, implementing deliver method over here. Are you getting my point, guys? Come on. One interface, two method. One interface, two implementation classes. One is courier interface, one is this. One is courier interface, one is this. These things are there or not there, guys? Come on, everyone. Super boss. Comfortable or not? I want reply from you people, guys. Come on, everyone. Private courier, courier. Did I create object? I have taken only reference variable. Hey, say something, Rababu. Not created object. This is what interface? It is reference variable of blue data, DTDC or interface type. Or interface reference variable can be assigned with any implementation class object. Now I can assign either DTDC class object or what? Blue dot class object. What do you say, guys? Super. Public void set courier, courier, courier. Public void set courier, courier, courier. This dot courier is equal to courier. What do you say, guys? Here I have taken setter method to assign courier class object to Flipkart class object, na boss. Here I will take setter method to assign courier class object to Flipkart class object or not, guys. Okay, setter method for setter. If this is regular business method, here I am using courier.deliver method. Everything same. Point number one. All possible dependent classes are implementing common interface courier. Point number one. Point number two. In target class, we have taken what? Courier type has a property. And that is used in the business method. Okay, I am not assigning blue dot class object or DTDC object in Flipkart class. So what I am doing, check it out. In main class or outside the classes. In client application or main class. What I am going to do, check it out, guys. In main class, I created target class object. I made courier interface pointing to DTDC class object. I made courier interface pointing to DTDC class object. Come on. Super. Flipkart object I am setting to courier object I am setting to Flipkart object here. Say something, my dear. So this is target. This is dependent. Here dependent is assigned to target or not, guys. Here dependent is target class object, dependent class object. Okay, I did not like DTDC object. Now what I am doing? I made courier reference variable pointing to blue dot class object. Now I am as replacing set courier courier. This time DTDC is replaced with a blue dot, na boss. This everything I am able to do outside the classes without disturbing the source code of the existing classes. Without disturbing the source code of existing classes. What do you say, guys? It's really taking place or not, guys? It's really happening or not, guys? I want reply from you people, boss. It's really taking place or not? I want reply from you people, my dear. Here we can change the dependent class for a target Flipkart class from the client application. Check it out here, this one and this one. Without disturbing the source code of target class. This may code as what? Loosely coupled code. What code, guys? Check it out, guys. Here courier interface reference variable pointing to DTDC. Same thing is pointing to blue dot. When I call Flipkart.set courier courier, here the DTDC is assigned to Flipkart, na boss. Later I call same method pointing to what? Blue dot. Here blue dot is replacing the DTDC or not. This everything I have done outside the classes target and dependent classes. That means I am able to change one dependent with another dependent without touching the source code of the target class or not, guys? Changing one dependent with another dependent without touching the source code is nothing but loose coupling or not, guys? Is definitely nothing but loose coupling or not, guys? Method overloading gives static or compile time polymorphism. What is that? Static or compile time polymorphism, right? Overloading. But right now what's happening? Overriding is happening. Interface methods are implemented in what? In classes. That is comes under overriding only. Method overriding with the support of what? Interface or abstract class. Abstract classes give dynamic or runtime polymorphism. What is that, guys? Dynamicum or what? Runtime polymorphism. Are you getting my point there or not? I want reply from you people. Come on, guys, everyone. So I think with this rule number 2 also completed, guys. And observe very carefully. In rule number 2, rule number 1 is implemented, but with class with interface. Private courier. So we have taken has a property. That means composition. Rule number 1 is already there. No inheritance, composition. But we have taken that variable of what type? Interface type. We have taken that variable of what type? Interface type. That means our code is open for our code is open for loose coupling or not, guys? Earlier I used to create object of DTDC blue dot directly in the Flipkart class. This time I am taking reference variable. I have taken separate setter method so that I can assign value to courier reference variable from outside the application or not, guys? Outside of the classes or not, guys? So I can replace what? One dependent with another dependent without touching the source code of the target classes or not, guys? This is nothing but what, guys? Loose coupling. This is nothing but what? I hope everyone convinced with me or not, guys? Got the clarity, dear? Understood my statement or not, guys? That's great, boss. Shall we upload the notes, my dear? Rule number 3 is still left, but I needed time to understand and explain rule number 3. Are you comfortable up to strategy design pattern, rule number 1 and rule number 2? Can you tell me what are all the 3 rules? Speak out. Prefer inheritance, prefer composition over inherit. Number 1. Number 2. Our code must be open for modification, extension must be closed for modification. Actual rule number 3, that one. 2. Always code to interfaces abstract classes. That means don't code to concrete classes to achieve loose coupling between target and dependent classes. So rule number 2 we have discussed now. If one target is having multiple possible dependent, don't create object of one dependent directly in the target. Tight coupling. You make all dependents implementing common interface. You take common interface type has a property in target class so that you can assign whatever dependent you want to that has a property from outside the class, that too without touching the source code. From outside the class, that too without touching the source code. Right, boss? Got the clarity, my dear? I want reply, my dear. Okay, that's great. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed all this stuff, guys. Super. Let me upload the notes. What's your batch code, my dear? Where is this? Huh? Yes, Spring Core. If someone asks a question about strategy design pattern, you have to speak minimum 20 minutes. Like this, you prepare yourself. What are the design pattern you have used in your Spring project? You have to highlight strategy design pattern. When questions are known question, by the time, spend more time while answering. If questions are unknown question, don't rotate their brain and your brain. You don't know, that's it. Maximum any interview is 1 hour, 45 minutes to 1 hour. How many questions you want to get, that depends upon your answering style. When known question comes, if you buy the time, okay, he will ask less question overall. If you try to rotate the brain of interview, though you don't know answer, instead of agreeing I don't know, he will think that you said multiple time no kind, wrong answer kind of thing. That's why when known question, by the time give elaborate explanation. When unknown question comes, I don't know, sir, can we discuss something else? When you say, can we discuss something else? You only ask what is the area you want to discuss. You choose your favorite area, from there only queries will come. Yes, it's a psychological game you have to play with the interviewer. If you speak more for known question, he will ask less. If you speak more for unknown question, he will think that like he failed multiple times for the same question. That's why don't attempt to answer. If you don't know, that's it. If he asks to try once, try once. Once you got wrong opinion about your answer, try to move to another topic. Don't stay with that topic. That's a psychological game that you have to plan. What's your batch code, guys? 515. Spring Core. Where is this? More on factory design pattern. Where is that? I am not able to see that. Second one, second row, first one. This one. Yeah, more on strategy design pattern. That's the one thing. And March 1st, I think February 28th one also one thing is there. Feb 28th. Where is Feb 28th one, guys? Can you help me on 20? I think on March 1st. March 1st document, where is that? First one, Okay. Yeah, I might have done small modification. Let me update them. I hope you are enjoying the way I designed the content, guys. For you, it is maybe fourth or fifth application according to IDE count. But for me, it is the second application basics. Strategy design pattern we learn in core Java. We try to understand the problem. Then we try to learn same design pattern implementation in what? Spring. Same design pattern implementation is Spring. And we see the advantages. We see the advantages. Got it, guys? Super. Right. Thank you, guys. We'll meet tomorrow. I'll start session tomorrow by 5:10, 5:05 only. Today I'm a bit late. Tomorrow you'll be on time. Thank you.